So, knowing this, we also go to this massive thing that happened this weekend where El Mencho, Mexican cartel kingpin, goes down in a raid. Listen to what Bongino has to say about this. It's very, very interesting.
I addressed this on the show earlier today. This is really important people understand this. Listen, cartels have always engaged in brutal extreme violence. We get that. That's not new. However, what is new with CJNG, Sinaloa, and others is the technology and the comms equipment, without giving away too many details. This was my entire life over the last year, are totally different, Laura. They're not just force multipliers. I mean, you go from the ability to kill hundreds to the ability to kill thousands and dominate entire neighborhoods, which is simple surveillance equipment and comms that are not easy to get into. So this world is totally changed. And now you have a change in the administration south of the border from AMLO, who was into this let's give them all hugs crap, to Scheinbaum, who's been better on the issue. There's still room for improvement. And now you see an operation like this where El Mencho gets taken out. I mean, this is a totally different world. The president's not kidding around with this Don Roe doctrine. I know people are like, oh, Don Roe, Monroe doctrine. He's not, this is not a joke to him. He is not going to let, in this complicated new world of threats, grid systems, EMP attacks, weapons, drones, fusion technology, he is not going to let people set up shop in Central, South America, Cuba, and elsewhere. He's not, I don't know why people think he's kidding. He has shown no evidence that he's going to back down at all. And now you see it with El Mencho, thanks to some of our support, 6 feet deep. And listen, sorry, man, but he found out.
No, Dan, and the left is so pathetic in so many ways.
So El Mencho, one of the big kingpins down there, dead now. The weekend after all this happens. This is Trump sending a message. You guys, you think you're winning? Watch what I can do. Watch how I can take this out. I'm no longer letting you guys get close. I am taking over my entire hemisphere. He already showed him in Venezuela, then makes another move this weekend. The CIA's help, uses the CIA, obviously. Mencho is not just a cartel guy, he's a major human trafficker. This is crazy, and it's setting into effect all this stuff in Mexico. This is the ramp up, guys. Media told you Mencho was a drug lord. They lied. He wasn't a deep state general because he moved cocaine. He was a general because he moved children. His code name appears 17 times in unredacted Epstein files, the supplier. For 20 years, his primary cargo wasn't drugs. It was human, children for the island, organs for the elite, logistical backbone of the entire blackmail operation. CIA protected him because he supplied the one thing their network needed most. Trump saw the log, saw the code name, Sunday morning gave the order. Not a Mexican military operation, execution. The supplier is gone. Who's next? Look at this. This is, they've known for a while. This is Glenn Beck a year ago, saying a year ago, Brandon Darby told me the only way Mexico could prove it's serious about fighting the cartels is about taking out El Mencho. That's how game-changing Sunday's operation is. It would never have happened without Trump's pressure campaign. You got to know behind the scenes they were running this, guys. Okay? They were running this. And then look at this. Got Mexico to hand over 100 cartel leaders, including El Mencho's brother, before the Jalisco raid. Gets all these cartel leaders and then destroys El Mencho. You think it's time for somebody to start talking? People are like, no, nothing's going on. Where's my arrest, man? Ah. Are you kidding me? We're literally changing the entire world order. This is a war on all fronts. And at this point, it's either sovereign nations who mostly want to be left alone, like Russia and China, who, again, China's done all kinds of terrible things. They're not a good country, but they're not our biggest enemy. Russia obviously is trying to help us in this fight. They know who the enemy is. They call it out all the time. It's been their enemy even before ours. This UK system, this City of London system that runs the cabal, that is the beginning of the deep state. Yes, they use the crown, all that. They've been in Mexico. And Canada, we're going to deal with differently. We're working on Canada. That's going to be different. But cartels, man, they're scum. We take them out the hard way. But guys, this is how they traffic stuff. They move stuff through our country, through the border, the cartel money's going through Wall Street. Coincidence this happens right after the tariff decision? I find that very hard to believe. For those who are asking why certain things have not happened yet, look at what the CJNG is doing in response to the death of leader Mencho. They're terrorizing civilians. Now, do you see why Trump and his DOJ, FBI, DHS targeted dangerous gang members in sleeper cells first? Trump had to make sure violent gangs like MS-13 and Tren de Agua were purged from our streets so they could not be mobilized to cause coordinated violence in our walls. Think about this. Everybody mad that somebody hasn't been arrested. By the way, I keep hearing this from the Epstein people who are so pissed that nobody's been arrested. This is all they ever say. I'm like, okay, which arrest would satisfy you that things are happening? Because at this point, I don't think anything will satisfy these people. They're just not willing to pay full attention to what's going on. What Trump is doing is crazy. We are dealing with the sickest people in the world, but they're also extremely connected and powerful. You can't mess with them without them messing with us first. This first year has been laying the foundation, preparing things so that the operations can really ramp up. Read this post again. What I just read. It makes perfect sense. Clear up our country from the low-hanging fruit, the thugs, so that they can't attack once we go after them. Imagine if Trump just came in and did what everybody wanted him to do. Just went after the big guys right away. After 4 years of Biden letting 20 million of these people in, several of them sleeper cells, crooks, murderers, rapists, gang members. If Trump had just come in and been like, I'm going after the head first, you better believe it would have become mass chaos in our country. But now, 2.5 million illegals out, many of them the worst of the worst, many of them already locked up. I guarantee you many of their cells broken up. Even if they're the ones still floating around, most of their cells are broken up. And now what do we see? After a year of this, after the FBI setting record arrests, after Kash Patel getting crime bound by 20% to the lowest in 100 years. Yeah, he's doing a great job, by the way. All that happening. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, huh? Why maybe we haven't gone after the bigwigs yet. But some changed this weekend with Mencho. Says this step was paramount because the Democrats' open border policies allowed for the cartels to walk freely in our nation, established a standing army. Day one, Trump used the military to close the border, targeted the gangs. One of the reasons the U.S. military, National Guard, currently on standby to ensure security. Cartels are foot soldiers of the deep state. Trump's prepared with U.S. military. Our situation is much more delicate than people understand. 100%. 100%. And I'll take you back to an old Q post. Those who can't understand that we cannot simply start arresting without first ensuring the safety and well-being of the population, shifting the narratives, removing those in D.C. through resignation to ensure success, defeating ISIS, MS-13, prevent fail-safes, freezing assets to remove network-to-network abilities, kill off COC to prevent top-down comms organizations, etc., should not be participating in discussions. Exactly. And many of these people don't understand. And that's why I don't listen to them. I don't pay attention to them. Listen, look what we're doing. How many people, we've definitely shifted the narrative again and again and again. DC, how many people have resigned over the last 10 years since this Q post? Which one was this one dated? 2018. So 8 years ago. How many have resigned since then? Maybe 50, and then through other defeats, maybe we've replaced 100 in the House and Senate combined. Defeated ISIS, they're pretty much gone. MS-13 almost done. Freezing assets, Bessent's in charge of that. He's been working on that. They've been talking about it since last year. I mean, come on. We shut down USAID. It's happening, guys, exactly as this post says it had to. And this is why it's taking a little time. So stop being so freaking impatient. Come on. Stuff is happening. But again, we're in a war. It's going to be strike, counterstrike. But they are getting weaker and weaker. They thought this tariff thing was going to be a big deal. Trump basically skipped over it. It's like in Mario, something falls down and you think it's this big thing, but nope, you just jump right over it. It's like, nope, not a big enemy at all. That's what they thought. They thought they were actually going to set him back, and instead they emboldened him. And now things are getting crazy. In Mexico, it is getting wild. Cities burning down, airports, thousands of flights canceled because of the violence. The cartels are angry. But it sucks for the people there. We pray for the people there. But the good part is this is going to force the people of Mexico to rise up. And you better believe, since it's on our border, they're going to be getting help from us, whether we see it publicly or not. Drone strikes, we already know, have been happening on the cartels. There might be some special ops going on. But this is the time, guys, we could completely eradicate the power of the cartels in Mexico. Do you understand what a big deal it is? They run that country. Sheinbaum is controlled by them. She's a puppet. That's why 27 candidates for their president, I believe it was 27, died before the election. That's how many they killed before they got to Sheinbaum. This stuff is crazy. But this is what's happening. I mean, this stuff is... Innocents are going to die, but it's... Hopefully the prayer is that it's as few as possible. But innocents, here's the thing, innocents have already been dying. They've been living under a reign of terror from the cartels for decades. You guys ever seen the movie Sicario? Yeah, that movie's not fake. That crazy stuff, it's worse. It's worse. So whatever they're going through now, it's nothing compared to what they've been going through. And this is their time. They have a chance to do something amazing. Imagine what Mexico could be as our southern ally if this is cleaned up. It's amazing stuff, guys. Amazing.